Okay, so I've just started the webinar. I'd like to say hello to everybody for joining. So we've got people from all over the place. I'd like you to write in the chat where you are, what country you're in. Maybe it's the morning, maybe it's the evening, maybe the afternoon, as it is for us. Okay, so we're just having some people joining us. Okay, so I'll start then. Hello, thank you for joining us. My name's Lindsay. I'm the Executive Education Consultant at the University of Oxford. Joining me today, we've got our panel of alumni. So we have Bianca, Dominique and Monica. Would you like to introduce yourself to us, Monica?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Monica Corrado. I'm a Swiss citizen living in France. I've been working and managing the Fondation Suisse in Paris for the last 10 years. I have a PhD in Islamic and Middle Eastern studies. I've worked mainly in the public sector, first in the university, then for the Swiss government. And now I'm managing this private foundation, which is a student hall, a student residency in an international university campus.
Thank you, Monica. Lovely to have you with us. Dominique.
Yes, hi, my name is Dominique Leroux. I am French and can't hide it from my accent. I have lived abroad for the past 20 years and I am more recently based in Berlin, Germany. Don't ask me about my German. I am a marketing professional. I have always worked in travel technology environments. And while I have a marketing function, I've actually worked in different business areas as part of a marketer. So that's a little bit about me.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dominique. And Bianca.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bianca. I'm the head of sales and marketing for an online platform. Previously worked in IT and advertising. So my background's more in global sales and business development. And of course, an alumni of the MBA Fundamentals course. Nice to be here.
Yep, lovely. Thank you very much. Joining us today later, we've got Alex as well, who's our Senior Customer Relationship Manager, also with me at the University of Oxford. So before we start, just some housekeeping. This meeting will be recorded and we'll be sending out the recording to you shortly after. Okay, so today's agenda, the webinar, we're going to tell you about the programme, what you'll gain, how you'll learn and time management, also hearing from our alumni with their experiences, the module structure and overview we're going to go over, the faculty and support that we can give you, the networking opportunities and our online learning platform preview. We've also got the key dates and next steps, and at the end we'll be asking you to put your questions into the chat and we'll have Q&A session. So as we go through, if you just write your questions in the chat, we'll gather them up and go through them at the end. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit briefly about the programme. So the programme itself is 10 weeks, it's totally online, and the full price is £3,500. That payment is due at the beginning as a one-off payment. So it's designed for busy professionals to balance your work and professional commitments, enhancing your leadership roles, driving business performance and accelerating your career growth. The programme itself is asynchronous, so you learn and study at your own pace, but also enrich with activities, tutor-led discussion and live sessions. There's some deadlines as well for some academic tasks, but I'll talk about those as we go through. The core subjects that we study are strategy, marketing, operations, business analytics, finance, economics, leadership, organizational design, and the impact that it has on your own career. So what you'll gain from us, our online programs address the heart of strategic, digital, financial and technological transformative innovation. So we're preparing business professionals and leaders for the ever-changing futures. We give you the tools to develop and scale your organizations that you can apply immediately into your role. Oxford itself just got ranked first in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings, not for the first time, so we're still up there in the first place. You'll be studying with a global network of professionals from multiple industries. You can study anywhere while balancing your life and personal commitments. If you're from the UK, you can accrue the CPD professional development hours as well with us. And also we will give you a digital certificate of completion. So this digital certificate is very nice. I'll show you at the end a little bit more about what that means. So I'd like to hear from you guys now. What's your main reason for considering this programme? Is it building your leadership skills? Is it your general upskilling? Is it your network opportunities, gaining a qualification from Oxford, or to accrue the hours? Oh, fantastic. We've got some results coming in. That's it. Keep popping them in. So we've got leadership skills, upskilling. Yep, and the Oxford qualification. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, 55% of you, oh, it was an even with upskilling, leadership skills, and very close by was the qualification from Oxford. Fantastic. So let's go to our alumni now. Let's hear about what was your main reason for choosing the programme. So Monica, please share with us.
For me, it was probably the general upskilling. My main motivation was that I've started looking for a new job, and I didn't really know, or I still don't really know in which direction it should go, whether I would like to orient myself towards the private sector or stay in the public sector. I'm not sure about that. And I also think it's always very interesting and important to update my knowledge and to refresh my skills.
Absolutely, thank you. And Dominique?
Quite similar. So I've always been motivated to learn, no matter what. I always try to find a new challenge every year, whether it's actually personally or professionally. And I also wanted to have a qualification to boost my confidence, maybe in terms of positioning myself differently within my current organization, or potentially outside of it. And for me, obviously the reputation of Oxford University was an absolute no-brainer, and definitely has not been disappointed. But I'll keep the rest of my remarks to prove that points. But yeah, so
Fantastic, thank you. And Bianca?
Yeah, that was lovely to hear, Dominique, about boosting your confidence, because I really feel the same. And I don't know if I expected to feel so much better after doing it. But really, leadership was a key element for me. But at the same time, I think good leaders need to have a good broad understanding over all the disciplines within a business, especially, you know, with so much evolving with technology and changes in businesses these days. So I definitely walked out, as you say, with confidence, understanding more about these technologies, for example, and operations and even finances as well, which has sort of given me a little bit more tools. So it's kind of related to all of those points there. And it's really nice to know that you can gain everything. And that's what's so good about this course. It's very diverse and covers so many areas. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, that sounds really good reasons. So very similar to our poll as well. Okay, so how you'll learn. We have a structure of 10 weeks. So the first week is your orientation week, and you'll have a meeting. So if the May cohort, the next day after it starts, you've got a meeting with your support team during that orientation week, just to make sure that everything's set up and you're good to go. Then the next 9 weeks are the modules. I'll go into more details about those in a moment. The recommended learning time is around 10 hours a week, and you'll need a good laptop with strong connection and a headset for the communication side. The content itself is really easy to access. We've got the online modules, which are really easy to navigate through. You've got lots of sort of rich learning variations of videos, quizzes, infographics, and texts. The live sessions led by the tutor. So these normally happen around Wednesdays, UK lunchtime, so 12 o'clock. So just you can plan your schedule right from the whole 10 weeks around that. We've also got additionally 2 live webinars which are led by the programme directors, so straight from the Oxford academic side. You've got tailored tutor feedback as well. So for every assignment, the tutor will give you detailed feedback. And it's good to note here that the programme itself doesn't contain any academic credits. So if you're looking for the full MBA, this one will not help with the academic credits, but we do have the same tutors who are providing the full MBA as well. So they've just taken a snippet and made this wonderful 10-week programme for us. The assessments themselves, so we've got 3 main assessments. They're quite spread out, so you've got time to complete each one. They make up about 90% of the grade. You've got 9 quizzes at the end of each module, which make up, well, it's 9% of your grade, and there's an extra additional 1% for completing all of the modules if you'd like that 100%. And our overall pass mark is 50%. So ladies, I'd love to hear from you. How did you manage your time with these assessments and work and family and all the other things that we have to manage in our lives and still get the work done? Monica, tell us about your time management. How did you structure that?
I was working on the course material whenever I had a moment. So I have, of course, I have the luxury of being the boss in the structure that I manage. So I was also able to, during working hours when there wasn't much going on, to have a look at one of the modules, for example, one of the units. Of course, more time intensive tasks like the assessments, I usually did them on the weekend. And I worked a lot in the evenings. Most evenings of the week, I had a look at one unit at least.
Fantastic. Okay, so weekends are also doable. That's good to know if we need extra time. Dominique, how about you? Did you have a similar schedule?
No. Yes and no. So I have a full-time job, which is extremely demanding. And because I'm not in my 20s anymore and my university time was a long time ago, I did realize that trying to have by chunks was not good for me because I was not digesting the information properly. So what I did is block my 10 weeks, 10 weekends and all of my Thursday and Friday nights and dedicated my full time to those evenings and the entire weekend working on average 18 hours per weekend. So like full-time job. So it was quite intense. It's my personality as well, I have to say it. When I study, I need to be focused and I need to think and digest and pause a little bit. But it was also totally feasible, absolutely feasible. And yeah, and I have a busy life. I could still make it happen. So I think it's realistic, but it's still a question of discipline. You have to book your time and stick to it. Because if you miss a module, for example, then it's very difficult to catch up for the rest. So structure and discipline are going to be very interesting, but it's so enjoyable that personally didn't feel like a punishment at all, at the contrary. But yeah, it's for me, I put it the hardcore way, which is a reflection also of my personality.
But that's good to know that you can really structure your week as suits you. You're saying, yeah, different styles of learning is very much accepted as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you. And Bianca, did you have a different experience?
Yeah, I think the first couple of weeks you get your mojo going with it because, you know, like Dominique said, if you've not been, I mean, I'm 10 years out of university, so it was definitely an adjustment to get back to that. But then I found my rhythm throughout it. I tried to sort of, you know, complete, you know, a block really a week, just to give myself as much time to do the assessment. And evenings, I would study most evenings as well. I did still make sure I did my gym and things in the evenings, because you do need a bit of a break. But at the same time, the content is really fascinating and the research is really rich as well that you're learning. So for me, it didn't feel like a task. I actually like really enjoyed spending my evenings and weekends as well, really, doing that. But as I was working full time, I also did get some accommodations from my work, really, to at least make the live sessions, which tended to sort of be the middle of the day or late morning, because they were really important. I like to be there to ask questions and get as much out of it as possible. So they're really worthwhile. So if anything, I would say you'll work out your own schedule, but try your best to make those live sessions and ask questions and meet your cohort as well. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's really nice to know that you can ask questions, because I think a lot of online programs, you know, it's sort of a closed page.
Right.
But if you can communicate with your tutor, also get the feedback, that's really, really, really lovely. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit now about the module structure. So each of the modules has 3 units and follows the same pattern. So we break it into 3 for the fundamentals of today, looking at why these fundamentals are important. Then you've got how they're applied to the world. So each module you'll be looking at real life examples and case studies, mostly brought by our wonderful tutors with fresh examples. You've also got ideas for the future. So then you're learning and considering the up and coming issues and developments in the discipline discussed in that module. So all the same pattern. It's a very structured framework. So a little bit about the modules themselves. We can put the brochure into the chat if you haven't received it, but basically it's broken into the blocks as well. So block A is your first 3 modules. Module 1 is business strategy. So you're leveraging strategic frameworks with innovative thinking, communicating strategic recommendations. So lots of networking and sharing of ideas. We have a global cohort, as we mentioned earlier, so it's a good opportunity to just discuss different areas in the world, how they deal with certain situations. So maybe Asia has a different way from the UK, or the UK from Europe. So really nice, embracing those new trends. We've got module 2, which is customers and marketing. So discovering vital marketing and how the effects are for the organization's strategic objectives, emphasizing customer centricity with growth drivers as the motivation. Module 3 goes into innovation and entrepreneurship. So you're delving into critical frameworks, assessing viability of business ideas, and emphasizing the importance of innovation and scalability. We've popped a little view of the assessments here at the bottom, so you can see how they're broken into parts. So it's not 3 big assessments. It's broken into smaller parts. So the biggest one here is 800 words. You've got 400 and 200 words as you go through. The assessments themselves, they're ever changing. So as we discover new things or there's new topics to talk about, the assessments are released fresh for the intake. Module 4 goes into block B now. So we've got operations and management. So we're generating value in operations, aligning them with your business strategies. We're adopting the process view and detailed analysis of business processes. And then there's always the hot topic of waste and social sustainability. Module 5 goes into business analytics. So you're exploring the value of business analytics in modern organizations. You're understanding new trends in data-driven techniques. Also learning how to integrate analytics more effectively. So really useful module there. You may work for an organization that needs a little bit of a freshen with techniques. So there you can use this information and pop it straight into your daily practice. Module 6 takes us into finance and economics. So mastering fundamental finance skills, learning how to engage in impact investing maximizing outcomes, also enhancing your ability to conduct valuation analysis and building financial modules. So also applying this into real life scenarios. Assessment 2 is quite interesting. So 1,000 words, that's the largest of our assessments. Part 2, you've actually got accounting and figures, so you'll have to produce figures as part of the assessment. So a nice real life practice. Part 3 is 200 words. So really varying and interesting assignments. Then we're going to block C. So it's module 7, people management leadership. So nice to recognize your own leadership style, identify how you persuade others, and also getting tips that you can put straight into practice. Understanding the assumptions that characterize the organization's cultures and subcultures. So really nice for people management. Module 8 goes into organizational design. So key organization strategies, matching the right people and processes to optimize your business impact. Module 9, is our famous impact from within. So this is really on the individual level. Business impact into the wider world, and where you begin to adopt the approaches that suit your business context and create value for you. The assessments that go with this block, we have 200 words, another 1,000 words, and part 3 for 200 words. So in between each of these, you've got a fairly large chunk of time to complete. If you get behind for any time, you can just contact our support team. But generally, I think all manageable in the context. Okay, so let's hear from you guys now. The poll again, the biggest challenge that you face in your career right now. So maybe it's managing people and the leadership skills. Maybe it's strategic decision-making, scaling of the business, or the finance side. So again, you can just pop it into the poll. It's really nice to hear from you guys what challenges you have. And I'll give you a couple more seconds to hear from everybody. Okay, oh, there's more coming in. So it's still the strategic decision making is in the lead with 55%. Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you for your answers. We've got some really interesting results, all very close again with the management skills and decision making, and lastly the finances. So okay, really nice. Let's hear from the panel then. So I'd really like to know the challenges that you faced and how our program actually helped overcome them. Monica.
I think for me, the main challenge was really that, I mean, everything, because everything was new apart from the, I mean, in my business, it's mainly managing people because it's quite a complex environment. I don't really have to scale my business because we're a foundation. We get a subsidy, so financially everything is quite easy. But yeah, in the course itself, the topics were mostly new.
Fantastic. So that's been really useful for your current practice now. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, thank you, Dominique.
Yeah, so the organization I work for has gone through an acquisition. Actually, I was part of the company being acquired. And as part of the acquisition, we have been through a huge amount of change management. And change management is very difficult, and it's been extremely critical for the organization to have competencies internally to manage people, upgrade the leadership skills, and also to make sure that decisions are not stalled. So even before I actually joined the MBA, I was embarked into a mission to support this as part of the executive teams. So I was actually helping with transformation, change management, and internal communication. I wish I had done the MBA before. It would have been a lot easier for my brain, but at the same time, it's been extremely fascinating to see what I have learned after, and it is still applicable anyway. So, and I think that's something which for me is very, very clear, is whatever you learn during those 10 weeks, it's not only going to be a point in time learning and off you go. It's something you will carry with you your entire professional life, and something which is going to pique your curiosity and you can take up at some point and evolve over time. So it's that type of degree. It's actually very much it's not just a point in time of you go done, I'm an expert there. It's going to trigger a lot of your brain, and you can go back to the program and actually pick some of the framework, for example, and apply them later. So I've already practically and concretely used 2 frameworks and solved 2 massive issues. And the feeling of achievements is like no others. And it's not just my personal feeling, and the impact I had created in the organization is phenomenal. So that for just 10 weeks in my life, yeah, I can't recommend it more.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dominique. Okay, Bianca.
Yeah, I would probably say decision making and having the strategy behind it was one of the biggest challenges that we had in the business. Like I said earlier, we're making significant amounts of changes all the time. The way business is done is changing, the way our users interact with us and how we collect information and what systems we use, and you know, operationally looking at our processes as well. So I would definitely say, you know, like Dominique said, being able to have frameworks to help diagnose and figure out bottlenecks or areas of improvement has been extremely useful. But it's also quite nice because the frameworks kind of help you make evidence decisions, but there's also going to always be that part of creativity that comes into it because we're in an ever evolving business landscape and we never know what we're going to be up against. But at least now I can make decisions knowing that this is the best possible route we can go down, and then still keep that creativity there. So it's kind of helped me be more comfortable in the uncomfortable within the business and just within my role as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, really nice. Nice to hear from you guys about that. So you would say that it was really fresh and up to date and useful for your practice. Really nice. Excellent. Okay, thank you. And thank you guys for the poll as well. Okay, let's go on to the faculty and support. So something really unique about this programme is that we've got the Oxford professors who are from our campus as well. And also they are supported by industry professionals. So you've got industry leaders from world-renowned corporations. For example, we've got the co-founder of Deep Planet, Shushma, so with 15 years international experience building deep tech solutions. We've also got Srin, who's a tech engineer who did the startup for the Airbnb, and also Alex, who's our clean shipping innovation expert. So with the global crisis with environmental responsibilities collectively. So you've got the academic side and you've also got some real business whizzes there teaching you on the programme. Also this cutting edge research, latest thinking, led by Andrew there, who's our programme director, Andrew Stephen. On top of the faculty, you've also got the support team. So you'll meet them within your first week. They're there to look after you all the way. If you need to have extra time or if you need some flexibility, it's best to reach out to them as soon as you know, so we can help in every way. You've also got the tech support. So if anything happens with your learning platform, which it doesn't generally happen, but if it does, they're there to help you all the way. So networking now, this is a hot topic. We have an absolutely huge network of, I think it's 36,000 now in our side business school network. So that's a lot of professionals, generally with around 15 years experience, from 177 countries as well. So the global, there's a massive capital G in there. So you're with this global cohort of professionals. You're engaging in the live sessions all the time. You've got this group discussion on top of the live sessions, asking questions. You've also got the opportunity to chat together. Some people make other groups as well after that. The networking opportunities is a lifelong membership with our alumni. So it's not just these 10 weeks, it goes further on, and we can support you. You can attend the reunion at the actual Oxford University campus, and we've got some events that we'll keep you up to date with. So I'd love to hear from you, from the panel. Tell me about your experience of the alumni network. Monica, please.
What I found interesting was really the fact, when you mentioned it, that people from all different kinds of countries, from different horizons, different backgrounds, academic backgrounds, different age groups as well. I remember my first networking was during the orientation week, was with a lot of very young men, and it was very interesting to exchange with them. And what I always try to find the thing I have in common with someone or with a group of people at the beginning, and it was in most of the networking sessions. It was the fact that hardly anyone was still in his country or in her country of origin, and so this whole also new life, a new context, migration context was also quite interesting, I found personally.
Fantastic, thank you. Dominique.
Yeah, so I was actually in the same promotion as Monica, and we just received our certificates today, so it's very, very fresh for us. We were a cohort of 75 students, indeed from a very, very diverse background, which I personally really liked. I have done an MBA 3 years ago, and we were thousands. I can tell you it's a very different type of feeling. So the networking opportunity are designed for us to grab, but it's up to us to take them. So Bianca was mentioning earlier, at the back of the live tutorial, we actually have an opportunity to stay for a networking session. It's completely optional. It's within your working hours UK time, so it's up to you to see whether you can make that effort. But it's definitely well planned, and also the tutors are making sure that we are in small groups and that the groups are different every time we have a tutorial, so that you have an opportunity to engage with more of your fellow students. So it's there for you to grab, but it has to come from yourself. It's not it's offered on a platter. You just have to decide whether it's for you or not. I definitely thought it was excellent. You also have an opportunity to network throughout the exercise. So after each of the module, you actually have to answer to small business cases. And it's not just about off you go, I tell you what I think. You actually are encouraged to interact with the other participants in your group. And again, similarly, we are grouped in smaller groups so that it's attainable. Because if you try to do that for 75 people, even if it's a fairly small group, it's not possible to actually network with quality. So that's definitely really good. So that's for me what I have considered as active networking. Obviously, now we will experience being an elumni, so that's going to be a new territory, but definitely super interesting, well structured. But again, it has to be your personal effort. So if you don't make it happen, it's not going to happen for you, and I think you would miss a huge opportunity.
Fantastic, thank you. Wonderful. Bianca.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think what makes this course different from going to another institution or organization to do it is the networking, quite honestly, in my experience. And what's great about Oxford is networking is a huge part of the culture of the university. And obviously we're not in person. So I was like, how is this gonna look, right? And the idea is that by being around lots of people from diverse backgrounds and different industries, you're able to learn from each other and have that support network. So when you are studying late at night, someone else might be online and they can help you out, or just have a little chin wag, a little chat because everyone else in your house is sleeping. It was so great to have it. And our cohort was smaller. 75 was quite big for year one. Ours was around 40, and we were very, very close. And we actually met up afterwards. We went to an event at Oxford University, and we're still in touch now. So for me, it's a network for life, really. And I would absolutely encourage everyone to make the most of it, because there's not any other course out there that has that emphasis on it, because it is about continuously learning and surrounding yourself with people who can elevate you up as well, or people that you can help. It's definitely probably the most valuable thing you're going to get from this program.
That's amazing, thank you. And so Bianca, with your experience in alumni, have you ever used any of the other services that they're available?
Yeah, so there's like the online website, and then you have the LinkedIn as well. So I have done a lot of the webinars, which I think is fantastic. Like, it's once you're in, you're not just signing up for this course, you are getting to access to the latest information. And I did a space economy one because I was really interested in that. I don't know about you guys in the program. I was like, wow, why didn't I know this, right? So I've been continuing to learn on it and see where, the faculty are at with their research, which has been really wonderful. And then there's, again, they do the in-person events. I'll definitely be there at the reunion as well. So, if you guys get signed up, I'll see you there. Drinks on Alex. So yeah, no, absolutely. There's a lot, and hopefully Dominique and Monica, you should be in the group soon as well. So it'll be great to connect. And I know, Monica, you're talking about a career change. That's what the network's for. They're there to help or point you in the right direction as well. So there's certainly so much you can get from it.
Amazing. That sounds really great. Thank you. Okay, so back to the structure of the program. We went almost onto a wine session there with our alumni. Right, Canvas preview. So this is our learning platform. It's very simply made for you, so you can't get lost. You can't break the system either. It's going to be released week by week or block by block with the structure there. So you'll see these tiles, as you see on the screen, that will really carefully lead you through the material. The pages, this is just an explanation page, but you've also got some interactive activities as well. So videos or some nice tasks that you can navigate really easily through. The scheduling, as we all want to know, is also available in your learning platform Canvas. You will have the whole 10 weeks live events and calls and webinars calendar there. So you can really see. They're all recorded. So if you can't make it due to your work commitments, you can watch back on demand at any time, and they're available for the whole duration of the program as well, and for up to 6 weeks afterwards, I believe. So nice to see there. The certificate itself. So once you graduate, you get this digital certificate, which has its own verification. It's got fraud protection with it as well, so you can embed it into your website as well. You can share it with any jobs that really showcases your competencies, and it can be verified as well. And lots of employers contact us to verify these certificates as well. So a really nice, important digital certificate upon graduation. Okay, So your next steps, we're coming to the end. We'll do the Q&A very soon. The next steps, we have the application deadline. So the next programme starts on the 14th of May. The deadline goes right up close to the start date, so you can apply up to the 12th of May. I recommend that you apply a little bit earlier than that, just so we can get everything sorted and you can plan your schedule on time. The entry requirements, so comparing to the normal MBA, our entry requirements are not as important. So you want to be having professional industry experience to get the most out of the programme. If you'd like to book a one-to-one with me and talk through your experience and credentials, then we can definitely do that. You can book a chat with me by the QR code, or our lovely moderator is going to put it in the chat as well for you. The total fee, as mentioned, is £3,500. Group bookings as well. Do we have Alex to talk about the group bookings?
We certainly do, Lindsay. Hello, everyone.
Oh, hello, Alex. Thank you. Nice to join you. I couldn't see you there. Sorry. So, Alex, I'll pass it over to you to just explain a little bit about our group bookings.
Sure. Yeah, so the standard price is 3,500, as Lindsay's already explained. However, if there is a group of you, a block booking or a potential for a wider group and a future cohort, then we enter into a slightly different conversation. So where I tend to work is on the B2B side of the sort of recruitment fence. So what we can typically do, we have a discretionary range that we can dip into for discounts. What I would say is, if there's more than one of you looking to join, or there's a team of you, please do get in touch with me, because there's a little bit more that we can do in that space. So I'll be looking forward to hearing from you ahead of the start in May. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so enrolments as well are through our main website, if you'd like to enroll that way too. Okay, time for our Q&A. So as we've been going through the webinar, hopefully the chat has filled with some lovely questions. I'll just open it up and have a little read. Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm just seeing where we've got some people here from as well. Sorry, I couldn't see it as we were going through the webinar. We've got the UK, Switzerland, Australia. Oh my goodness me. Thank you for staying up. Hi, Nam. Nice to meet you. And Nick as well. Wow. Okay. Okay, so we've got the clarifying of the class time. It was mostly around 12 British summer time. Okay, there is one that's at 11:30, but you're looking at around 11:30, 12 for the next cohort. Okay. Okay, developing the business. Okay, so Bianca, I've got a question here from Dean that I'm going to point to you. So we've got Dean as the founder of a 2.5-year-old AI startup. How would the content practically help him develop his business?
Yeah, well, it's, I guess, because you're a startup, you've got the entrepreneur module, which is super helpful, but actually just understanding, like we said earlier, every discipline of the business. You know, if you're selling, depending on what you're selling AI for, let's say, for example, if it's to help with operations in another company, you need to understand some of the issues that, you know, selling someone in operations or marketing or whatever. So for me, it's helped me understand my clients better by looking into these different disciplines. We do cover AI in a decent amount of detail, I would say, and machine learning and the business analytics and how we use data to make decisions. So I would say it would give you a really good business mindset towards how you sell your AI strategically to executives in different areas of different businesses. I don't know if anyone wants to add to that.
I can if you want, actually. So as the founder of a company, you cannot have expertise on every single front of your company. That's just not possible. Otherwise, you're not going to be successful. You will have to focus. However, it's in your interest to have sufficient knowledge in all of the areas to be able to recruit the right people and to surround yourself with the right type of expertise. So through the MBA, you can actually have a very good grasp of all of the business functions that you would classically have in an organization. And from the perspective of recruitment and surrounding you with the right people, and also then making priorities in terms of where should you recruit more or less is going to be extremely helpful. So that's definitely one aspect, putting yourself into the shoes of a founder in the case of Dean. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. We've got a couple of questions about the official last day of class. So if you start this cohort on the 14th of May, you'll finish on the 23rd of July. Okay. About the UK qualifications, does it align with any? I'm going to pass that one to Alex.
Yeah, so it's not quite a master's as the traditional MBA suggests. This is what we call a CPD certified course. So you'll have a certificate at the end, as we saw in one of the previous slides, that a lot of people do actually print off and put on the wall behind them. I've had calls with people where it's literally sort of just literally behind them in the background. So that is yes, CPD certified, and you'll have a certificate at the end to prove that, provided you of course pass. Yeah.
Yes, important to note as well, you'll need an ID that's valid and in date to get your certificate at the end, which is good to mention. Okay, time zones as well. So yeah, we've got a lovely question here about time zones. So how do we manage people in different time zones? The sessions are recorded. So if you're unable to make the live session, whether you stay up or wake up in the middle of the night, it is recorded, so it's all there and available. You've got some time in between what the topic of the webinar was, and then also the assignments. So like the panel have mentioned, there's opportunity to chat and use the other tools that we use for communication. I'd like to ask Monica that question though. I mean, did you have on your cohorts people from other time zones, and how did you get together? Was it mostly?
Yes, we had people, I think, from Japan, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, as Bianca said before, I also worked mainly in the evenings, and sometimes you were surprised to see that someone was still online or was newly online and had a question. So this gave us an opportunity to exchange. Mostly, I think lunch time is quite good, because no matter where you are, maybe in the US it's a bit early, but towards Asia it's doable.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Okay, we've got the learning materials. So Dominique, how did you find the learning materials, and did you manage to save some? I know you mentioned that you'd used a couple of the frameworks, but how did that work in practice?
Yeah, so the learning material is actually quite diverse, which I think is fantastic because it caters to different learning styles. So you have reading material, which you see on the online platform. You also have video interviews, so it really feels dynamic, and it's not boring. So that's good. But you also have transcripts for every single video, and also transcripts for podcast. So I personally need to see things. If I just listen, I don't remember. So you can actually download the transcript just by one click, and then you can obviously save the transcripts. It's also very easy, and you have quite often any of the framework are also downloadable. So if you actually do your own little library of documents by going through the module, it's very easy, and you do it on the way. If you prefer to learn and do your go back later and do your library of documents, you can also do it, because you have up to 3 weeks at the end of your cohort program to actually go back and search for tools. So it's definitely very convenient.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So really useful to hear from you guys. Okay, the live sessions, I've got a question here about how long the live sessions last. That's a really good question. I can send you, Maxon, the copy of the schedule. I've actually just received it today. So that's I can do for you. I believe they usually last around an hour, maybe an hour and a half if it's led on for discussion. Is that right, Bianca? Was it about an hour for your live session?
Oops. Yes, it was an hour normally. Yeah, with the so with our tutors, is this with our tutors and then also the live sessions with the faculty? It was about an hour, and then maybe extra time for us to mingle afterwards. So I would always block out a little bit of extra time for that if you're able to, but at least get the hour in.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Okay, I'm just scanning the chat now for more questions. I can see I might have missed a couple at the top.
Yeah, there's one or two about elumni versus alumni and the discounts and the various bits and bobs that go with that. I can just jump in on that if that's okay.
Yes, please do, Alex.
So the first thing to note is that, again, provided you pass, you become a member of the elumni community, which essentially is a little bit different to the alumni community. You can sort of see what we've done there. But it's essentially the first thing to note is you'll get quite a few discounts on any future courses that you want to go on, certainly within the OSO range, Oxford Side Online. So that's fintech, cybersecurity, AI ethics and regulation. So whatever, any program that we have, the full roster that we're running within OSO, you'd be applicable for at least, I'd say, 10% as a standard. Then the sort of wider benefits include obviously joining a network of some 37,000 individuals that crossing, I believe, 177 different countries. So it's everything from finance, law, marketing, healthcare, energy. So very much a sort of a wider snippet from the cohort that you'll be joining in May, should you choose to join the course. It's essentially a virtual global hub specifically created for elumni. It's essentially an environment of sharing continued access to the academics, the experts around thought leadership, the news, the research that we run, discussion boards that we might have, lots of events that we run. You'll be invited to those. And of course, any reunion events that you might want to join. So coming to Oxford, meeting your cohort in person, meeting your tutors and faculty in person, should you wish to do that further down the track. So it's all part of a network of activity that we put together once you finish with us.
Fantastic. Thank you. Really useful, Alex, there. Okay, I'm just aware of the time, so I will just have a look at the... Okay, we've got enrolment dates. So at the moment, May is our solid enrolment time. There might be some throughout the year, but for now, May is the dedicated, definite one. So just to know, okay. Just scanning through. Have I missed anything else there of the questions? I think that's all of them. Sorry, just reading through the chat. It's so many nice things in here. Okay. Okay, I think I've managed to answer everybody's questions. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to pop them in here and I will definitely get in contact with you. After the webinar, you can also book a one-to-one with me. My booking link is there in the chat as well. Okay, so yep, the MBA Fundamentals will start on the 14th of May and end on the 23rd of July. I'd like to thank the panelists, Dominic, Monica and Bianca, and also Alex for joining us today with the session. You gave us such rich information about the programme and we really look forward to seeing you in May, hopefully on our next cohort. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much and good luck with the programme, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'll finish the webinar now. Thanks again for joining us, and it's bedtime or morning time back to work. Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.